Hello everybody, this is Jacob from the Bow Channel, and today we're going to be starting a new series. This is the first episode, quite obviously, but we're going to be starting a new series today, and I apologize if you see a glitching screen. That is awful. Cover your eyes until this loads. My capture card is kind of weird about that, but I got a capture card in the mail, and I figured, why don't we start a series? Like a gameplay series on the channel, because I've tried to do it before, but it's been really annoying because, first off, I didn't have a capture card. So, also, I'm going to be playing as Mario. So first of all, I didn't have a capture card, so I had to use the crappy TV setup method. You know what I mean. You definitely know what I mean if you've ever tried recording videos without a capture card before. And I'm also actually using my phone to get the footage off of the capture card instead of a computer, because I don't have like an actual computer. I have a Chromebook laptop, but that's not the most reliable when it comes to that sort of stuff. So yeah. And second of all, I don't know, I just had one thing, I guess. But I also just really wanted to make like gameplay videos on the Wii. So that's also why I got a capture card, and I figured enough is enough. Because I actually, fun fact, before I recorded this, I believe it was Tuesday is when I got it, but like maybe a week or two ago, I tried to record a Sonic Adventure 2 battle series, and no, it didn't go so good. The camera was tilted, the brightness on the camera of my phone, if you've watched any of my Buzzta stuff videos, you know what I'm talking about when they switch to another character and you just get that shine of light, blast of light for no apparent reason. You know what I'm talking about. But, yeah. Also, I apologize for skipping the cutscenes and kind of have been zoning out this past, like, 2 minutes. But I was just explaining myself. So, what is Subspace Emissary? Now, if you haven't had a childhood, if you didn't have a real childhood, well, there's many different definitions of what that could be, but if you didn't really have a 2000s childhood or 2010 childhood, you might have not grown up playing the Wii. And this game, or not this game console has a lot of good games on it, very good title library, but it also has a lot of shovelware because it was a very accessible, cheap console. But that's not my point. It had many games, many big shots, some Pokemon games, not really many, definitely a good amount of Legend of Zelda. Obviously Mario, Donkey Kong Country Returned. Literally, that's like basically the name of it. Donkey Kong Country Returns. DKC returned to the big screen. And it just had a lot of games. And one of the most popular gaming franchises from the past couple consoles, past two to be specific, was actually the Smash series. Super Smash Bros. And so they made a Wii title, obviously, because they made one for the GameCube, and they made one for the N64. N64 was actually the origin console for the series. So yeah, they made this game. It has a story mode, and that's what I'm playing. The story mode. It's called Subspace because the big main plot line is a bunch of characters meeting up randomly in random places, teaming up to take down the enemy once and for all. You know how it goes. But I'm also really excited to play this because I just haven't played this in a while. Also, never skipping a cutscene again. What was that? No, but that is another point. I'm going to be skipping the cutscenes. And the reason I'm going to be skipping the cutscenes is because, first off, I don't know if it's copyright. Because, fun fact, getting on a tangent, but fun fact, Smash for Wii U was actually meant to have a story mode like this, but Sakurai didn't want it because he didn't like how people were uploading his cutscenes from Brawl Subspace onto YouTube. He wanted people to see it for himself. So, yeah, so I don't know if it's copyright, so I'm going to be skipping them. Also, that boss, Zelda and Peach are trapped in cages. Whichever cage you defeat, take all the health off of, that's the character you save. And the other one gets jumped by Wario and turned to a trophy. And what are trophies? They are the collectibles of this game. One of the two, actually. But they're like little statues. And that's really all there is. They're like little characters, little memorabilia, little references to characters who may not have been playable. Which is really neat. But In this game, you get trophies for characters by doing certain things, playing certain game modes, and beating them as that respective character. But in the story mode, that is like when you're in a battle with someone and you get defeated, you turn into a trophy. And it's like a lifeless statue state. And the only way you can get out of that state is if someone taps you, like touches you, you know? That sounded weird, but you probably get what I mean. Like, if you just tap them with your finger, they'll go back to normal. And so, that is, like, the big, like... It's kind of like death in this series, because the characters don't actually die in this game. And I somehow got 2 Rylu trophies, that's funny. But, yeah, the characters in this game don't actually die, they respawn. And so... Oh, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I thought someone was at the door. But I honestly forget what I was talking about, which is really concerning because I literally was just talking about it not even 10 seconds ago. I'm sorry. But I think I was talking about, like, the trophies and how being a trophy is kind of like dying. Oh, yeah. So the characters don't actually respawn in it, or... Oh my god, now I'm getting my words mixed. Characters in this game, they don't actually die. They just respawn. So when you're a trophy and you can't move, that is basically death in this game. Also, die please? What? Anyway, yeah, I think I've done basically all the explaining for the series of, like, what this is. And if you don't know anything else, literally just watch my playthrough or research it yourself. Because chances are, if you have a Wii lying around in your house, or if you have a friend, relative, someone you know who has a Wii, chances are they probably have this game, as it was one of the most popular Wii games. The hype definitely made it a very popular game. And Trophy Stand, don't mind if I do. Because, unlike Melee, which had... Oh my god, I want a Trophy Stand. But which had absolutely no time compared to Brawl, by the way. Dang it. Because Brawl had, like... So, the time window. Melee came out in 2001, and it had 1.5 years of development. And now, we take Brawl, which released in... I want to say 2008, although I'm not sure. It could be 2007. I'm gonna go with 2008, though. So if it is 2008, that's like 7 years of development time. And Sakurai worked on other projects because, of course, in between those two games, Kirby Air Riders came out. Kirby is another series that Sakurai made, if you're wondering. And Sakurai is the creator of the Smash series, if you're also wondering. But Sakurai made Kirby... So, he had other stuff to worry about. So, it probably wasn't all development time, but still, like it was 7 years before Brawl came out. And so, the hype was definitely real for this game. Because, you look at Melee, and yes, it was very cool, it was exciting, but people didn't have to wait as long for that game as they did for Brawl. And so... there was this website. It was called the Smash Dojo, which basically every day they reveal a little snippet of information about this game to you on the website. You'd go home, you'd be like, go home from school, you'd be excited to see, oh, I wonder if they added a new character to the Smash Dojo, or maybe they added a new item or stage, or just feature. They would literally add anything into this website every day. Something. And so, they randomly just dropped Sonic one day. They were like, yeah, let's just drop Sonic. So, that was funny. But, voice crack. But, so, yeah, the hype was real. The hype was definitely real. And so, when people got this game, you know, and they played it, they were like, yeah, this is cool. And then went back to playing Melee. Which is weird. It would be a new game. Why wouldn't you play that one? But... so, this part right here is actually really weird, because the cutscene, literally you are walking straight, no enemies to fight, no jumping required, you are literally just walking straight for like 20 seconds, and then you're back in another cutscene. So it is quite literally the most useless section of Subspace. It is the most worthless part. Because why even have it if you're just gonna walk straight? No retention, no gaming, really. No gaming. It's just walking. But anyway. I don't know what to talk about. Making Let's Plays is hard, because you have to come up with stuff like on the spot to talk about. I'm trying to think. Secret spot up here. I think I remembered. I tend to get into tangents sometimes. Like, I'll be talking about something, and then I'll just end up talking about a different thing. It's weird. I don't know why, but... Oh, voice crack again. But I don't know why, but it just happens. I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, I guess. Mario Galaxy movie. Saw the trailer back in October. Looks pretty fire. Bowser Jr.'s voice actor completely threw me off guard. I forget his name, but it's like a grown dude, which is weird. But I don't know. It's okay, I guess. He looks cool too. It's the Wonder version from Mario Wonder. But Rosalina looks pretty cool too. I hope to see Yoshi's confirmed. Yoshi's confirmed because of that old. It was either deodorant or cookie like leak or something. But Yoshi is obviously confirmed. He was also teased like at the end of the first Mario movie anyway. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's it. He was also teased at the end of the first Mario movie, so he's obviously confirmed. But I hope to see whether it's in the movie or a post-credits. I just hope to see Wario. Like, any point. Doesn't have to be in the movie at all. It could just literally be, like I just said earlier, a post-credit scene. I just want to see Wario or Waluigi, but if they're going to add the Wario Brothers into the next film or this film, they're probably going to introduce Wario first, just because he's a little more iconic. That was funny. I just slapped that enemy into non-existence. But yeah, Mario movie. Mario Galaxy movie actually looks pretty cool. His actual name. And I'm really excited for it. It's coming out actually in a couple months. I believe 3. Although it's almost the end of January, so it's pretty close, actually. Pretty closer than we thought. It's kind of crazy because like I remember watching the Mario movie for the first time, and it was just like it was super cool because like before that, I remember I used to watch. Don't diss on me, but I used to watch those old like upcoming movies of like 2025 or you know what I mean, like 2026. Where they'd show, like, the trailers, and, like, half of them would be fake. Before AI, though. Before AI came and ruined everything. It was, like, just edited. It was really funny. But I heard, like, oh, they're gonna have a Mario movie. And I was like, wait, really? That sounds so cool. And that was in, like, 2017. So, I was waiting quite a bit for that movie. And lo and behold, like, 6 years later. 6 years later. Finally came out. And they have Chris Pratt as... Wow, that is a start. They have Chris Pratt as Mario, which is definitely a funny addition. I think it was meant to be taken as a joke. I promise I'm not clip farming, guys. My voice cracked again. My voice does not crack this much when I'm talking to my friends or my family. It's weird. I don't know why. I don't know why my voice cracks so much more when I'm making videos. Anyway, now that I have a capture card, you can expect to see more gameplay, like game series. So that's gonna be cool. Main reason because of the capture card is that my capture card, which I don't know if it goes the same for all of them, but it probably does as long as I have an HDMI. My capture card is compatible with all my consoles, so my Wii, which is what I'm playing on right now, so I can play Wii games and I can also play GameCube games because of the backwards compatibility. Excuse me, I had a burp. But I can also play PlayStation games like PS5, 4, and 3 actually. And I can also play games on my Switch, which is cool because I've also really wanted to make some Switch videos, you know, maybe play some Ultimate, play Mario Kart 8, Trying to think. Mario Wonder would be a really cool one to do. I really want to play that game again, actually. I haven't really played it since launch. That would be actually really cool to play. Hold on a minute. I think someone's at the door again. Anyway, I'm back, guys. No one was at the door. I think I'm just getting paranoid. But anyway, Switch Let's Plays. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild would also be pretty cool, because I've actually never played those games before, believe it or not. I've never played those games. I've tried Tears of the Kingdom, like, maybe once, when my brother got it at launch. I tried it for, like, maybe 10 minutes, but, I don't know, it just didn't get me hooked. But I'd like to play it on the channel, maybe, form an opinion on it, you know. This channel could be a great way to get me to try games I wouldn't usually try before, you know. Maybe I'll find, like, a favorite, you know. But also, not just gonna make playthroughs of games I haven't played before, because why would I be playing Subspace right now if I've never played it? Because, let's be honest, I played Subspace. I played Subspace at, like, played at least, like, probably 15 times, I'd like to say, because, I don't know, it's just, for me, it's one of those timeless things that never really gets old. Of course, the side-scrolling, you know, the enemies, like, that, I'm not saying that that's perfect, but I usually play through Subspace at least once a year or two, and I don't even know why. And Dr. Kong's dead, but I don't even know why that is. It's just literally just because I like it so much, and I don't even think I like it because it's good. Oh my god. I'm so sorry for this gameplay. But I don't even think I like it because it's good. I like it because it's nostalgic for me. Because, like, literally, when I grew up, okay, all I had was, like, the Wii. So, it was a really big part of, like, my childhood. But, so, speaking of childhood, I guess I'll give you a little bit of some knowledge about my childhood. I'm not going to go into, like, personal stuff, but I'll tell you some stuff about my childhood. So, I had a very interesting childhood, actually, because I didn't really have any friends growing up, because I didn't go to school, like, I don't know how to say it, but, like, I didn't go to public, like, actual go-to school until I was in 3rd grade, because when I was in 1st and 2nd grade, I was homeschooled. But, and I don't even know why. I think I just did not feel like waking up and going every day, but I do now. So, yeah. But my childhood also mostly consisted of playing video games. Don't get me wrong, I did go outside a good amount. I did love going outside. I still do love going outside, except I can't now because it's the middle of January. But I do love going outside. But video games were definitely probably one of the, if not the biggest part of my childhood, because I grew up with a Wii. I actually still have, I'm not using that Wii to play on right now. I'm actually using one I got for Christmas, because I did some stuff with it. Not wink wink, totally didn't mod it. But, I have the Wii, you know, I'm not playing on it right now, but it is still here. I'm probably going to keep that till the day I die, just because it's a very, I don't know, very, also, holy, health shred. But that thing's like a keepsake for me. It's like a big reminder of, like, my childhood and everything I did. Or, not everything I did, everything I, you know, experienced. But I grew up with a Wii, and it actually had GameCube compatibility, if I'm not mistaken. And I also had a PS4, but that was, like, that was on launch. My dad loves to get the PlayStation consoles on launch, so that's why. But before the PS4, all I had was the Wii, okay? All I had was the Wii. Might have had an Xbox 360, but I do not remember that. But my mom told me apparently we did. And so I played on this Wii, and we didn't have many games. We had, obviously, I know 100% we've had Mario Kart Wii. That was a biggie. I've had Mario Kart Wii. Okay, I almost thought I died. We had I believe Mario Party 8, if I'm not mistaken. I think we had Mario Party 8. Not Mario Party 9. I got that for, like, Christmas in, like, 2017 or something. But we did have Mario Party 8. We also had this Indiana Jones game. I forget what it's called. I think it was, like, Staff of the Kings or something. But it was, like, that, I think. We also had Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which I may or may not be doing a playthrough of eventually on the channel, because that is, like, one of my favorite PlayStation 3 games, because I have it now on the PS3. Oh. No. Okay. But I have it now on the PS3, but I did have it on the Wii. But, oh, voice crack again. But I do love Sonic and All-Stars Racing. And we had Brawl. Okay, I know we had Brawl, but the weird thing is I would always end up doing something with the disc to where it just braked. I don't know why, so I've probably had to buy Brawl at least like 8 times throughout my whole life. Of course, the copy I'm using now is the one I've had since like 2017, but I don't know. I can't believe I blew through like 7 copies of Brawl. But we had Brawl, and that was basically it. Yes, the weirdest thing ever is that I had the Wii, and it did not come with Wii Sports. I have never played Wii Sports, actually I have, but it was like, I played Wii Sports for the first time when I modded my Wii back a while ago. That was the first time I played Wii Sports, because, like I just said, for some reason, the Wii that we had, my childhood Wii just did not come with Wii Sports, and I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure it comes with, like, every single Wii console. It's, like, the most best-selling Nintendo game of all time, probably, or it's, like, Tetris or something, I don't know. But, yeah, so, basically what I'm trying to say is, I had a few games. Not a lot of games on the Wii, but I had a few, and I've definitely poured well over hundreds of hours into those games. Maybe not each, but definitely combined. And I would always play Mario Kart Wii, and I would always, like, make a new save file, because that was my thing back then. That was, like, my favorite thing to do, was to get a game that had unlockables. I would love unlockables in a game, and boss fights. Those are, like, my 2 favorite things in video games ever back then. But, like, I'm just gonna use, for example, Melee, but, like, I would get Melee, or I would, like, turn on Melee. I would start a save file, right, and then I would get all the characters, not the stages in Melee, because I sucked at that game as a kid back then, but I would get all the characters, and then I would, wait, hold on, I have to pick, I'm gonna pick Diddy Kong. I love Diddy, Diddy Kong, not that one, but I would get all the characters in Melee, you know, I'd enjoy it. And then I would literally, probably not even a couple days later, I would erase my save so I could unlock all the characters again. I don't know what it was with me and why I loved unlocking characters so much and just other stuff in the game, these games I played, but that was a main thing for me. And so I would just erase my progress a lot and play. And so even though I had a few games, they lasted me for such a long time because I just did that all the time. And I could not do that now. My Brawl save, this is a different save, but on my actual Wii on Brawl, I cannot. Because I just beat, like, over the summer, I did all the challenges, like, on the challenge board. I have, like, all the trophies and stickers. And I genuinely never want to do that again. That was, like, one of the worst 100% I think I've ever done in my life. Really long to do. But anyway, oh, I got a trophy stand. That's pretty lucky, honestly. We've gotten like almost, I think we've gotten 3 trophy stands total. Might have been 4. But anyway, so yeah, my games will last me a while, and I would always play Mario Kart Wii. And I would like unlock all the stuff except for like the 150 and the mirror mode stuff, because I sucked back then. But I think I would get lucky every now and then and somehow beat it. But I would unlock all the stuff, and then I would erase my progress, but I wouldn't have everything, because the one thing I didn't do was the time trial unlockables, which is, like, Baby Luigi, Funky Kong, the the second Mii character, which instead of like a racing suit, he has like a Mario overalls on. But I wouldn't get those, and of course there were cars in that unlockable field too. But I wouldn't do that. Wow, that was a jump scare. I forgot I left the PlayStation on. I'm sorry if you heard that. But I wouldn't unlock the time trial stuff because I just wasn't. I was good enough to beat the Grand Prix. I was in the clear for that. But I could not for the love, or not for the love, for the life of me. I could not for the life of me clear even one staff ghost. Which is what you have to do to get the time trial ones. Like, you have to do, clear, or not clear, defeat this staff. Like, defeat this how many staff ghosts and time trial races, and you'll get this character. Like, you get 4, you'll get Funky Kong. 8, you'll get Baby Luigi. If you do 12, you get a heavy bike, the spear, which kind of sucks, but that's besides the point. But there were some that were just related to how many time trials you did. That was also a pretty good snipe. Like, if you just play a race on time trials, voice crack. If you play a race on time trials on every track, you get Toadette, but you have to unlock all the tracks first. But I never did do the time trials because I sucked at them. Until like maybe a couple years ago, 5th grade maybe, 5th grade, I got all the unlockables for the first time and it felt surreal. So that was pretty cool. But I would always erase my progress and then I start right over. Even though I had files, like on Mario Kart Wii, there's 4 files. Well, actually, I don't think I did that for that game. No, I don't think I did that for that game. I think I did just do different files. But then I would like get half, like maybe a fourth of the way, not even through that second save file. Then I'd just like leave the game for like a long time, and then I come back to it, and then I'd just be like all in it, and then I'd leave it again. It's like a cycle. It's weird. But I guess my point with that was just to show you that I, for some reason, had a knack for deleting progress in games. And wow, my mind just went blank. But yeah, it was like, that was a big glimpse into my childhood. I played other games too. There were certain games that I knew better than to erase my progress on, like Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing, because that game unlockables aren't unlocked by doing tasks. They're actually unlocked by, music box, or disc. But those unlockables in that game are not unlocked by doing certain tasks. They're actually unlocked by just getting like money and buying it in a shop. If a game has unlockables and they're unlocked by like buying them in the shop, chances are young me wouldn't have erased progress. But if they were doing by certain tasks, I would have. Because grinding the coins or whatever money it is, Sega Miles in the case of Sonic Racing. But it would have just been annoying, you know? But yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to drag this, but yeah, I don't even know what else to say. I don't know, I think I might end the episode here. I don't know, but also I'm gonna point this out just now for the record. So I actually don't have a mic right now. My setup is very makeshift, if you will, because I'm not old enough to work a job yet. So obviously I'm not able to buy my own stuff, but so I'm not able to have a microphone yet. Working on it though, I'm definitely working on it. And so you may hear background noise in these videos. Not in this video because I'm actually home alone right now, which is why I figured this is as good a time as any to bust out the capture card and make my first episode of Subspace. But you may hear background noise, and I apologize for that. But there really isn't anything I can do because, hey, I live with a family, you know. It's not like I could just, like, tell everyone, be quiet! You know, like, just shut up and not make noise for, like, the next 30 minutes. Can't really do that. Oh! Oh! That was a nasty spike. Okay, Diddy. Calm. That was hype. I'm gonna make that to a YouTube short and clip it, and then I'll get a 1 million subscriber glitch. No, I'm not. But that was definitely probably a highlight of the episode. But, yeah, you may hear background noise. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. Can't really change that. So, I'm not sure what I want to do now. we've gone through 6 levels so far. One of them you can't see. It's that purple ball on the left. That's the Midair Stadium, where we started with Mario and Kirby. I don't know if I want to do the Ruined Zoo, or if I might want to hold off. But I think I'm going to do it. Why not? I'm going to do the Ruined Zoo. I've been dying to play some Lucas anyway. Lucas is a pretty underrated character in my opinion anyway. I love Lucas. I used to neglect him, and I'm about to get jumped, yep. I used to neglect Lucas and Ness because I always felt they were confusing and I didn't know how to play them. But when I was doing an objective in this game during my 100% run, which I will get into probably shortly, I had to do a chopped objective where I had to complete a game mode with every character, complete a run of it, and actually, like, win. And so I did, and I played Lucas, and he did really good, and ever since then, he's just been kind of, like, one of my favorite characters to play. Because I actually really like Lucas now, and I don't think I would have liked him otherwise. And I don't know why. It's just funny that way. But yeah, Lucas, definitely probably top 5 Brawl newcomers. Of course, Sonic's up there, too. Oh, but yeah, definitely top 5 favorite Brawl newcomers. Brawl Meta Knight's pretty OP. I like him, but I'm not like, you know, like a sweaty, competitive Meta Knight player, you know, like, you know, Discord mod looking. I like him. I'm not, like, super big on him, but I like him. He's fun. If you really want to ask me who my favorite Kirby character is in Smash, it's DDD, hands down. Kirby's alright too, but DDD, I mean, man, he's got King in his name for a reason. Like, you don't just call someone a king because they're just anybody. Anyway, Forky is our 3rd boss. We actually fought Rayquaza earlier, who's a legendary Pokemon. I didn't really talk about it though, because I was busy on another tangent. This boss is pretty difficult on intense difficulty, but we are playing on hard mode, so we don't have to worry about that. And now I'm going to talk about the objective that I found Lucas in like my 100% journey in Brawl. So, first off, in Brawl, there are many things you have to do before you consider your game fully 100%. You have to get all the trophies, which are like the collectible things, which I touched up on earlier, and I already did. And there's also stickers, which are kind of easier, kind of harder. They're harder in the sense that there's more of them, but they're easier in the sense that they spawn more often. But they're also actually harder because you need duplicates. But you have to get all the trophies and stickers for challenges, which isn't that bad. Or, well, actually, it was pretty bad, but it wasn't my main gripe for the challenge. But you have to, you know, get the trophy stickers. But you also, to get trophies, certain trophies, like, for characters, like, I don't know, like Ness, like I'm playing as right now, who gets jumped, spoiler alert, he gets turned into a trophy, so now we're with Pokemon Trainer. Like, to get a character trophy for Ness, you have to be classic mode as Ness. And once you unlock all the characters, you get a mode called All-Star, which is basically just you doing a gauntlet, fighting all the 35 playable characters. But you actually get another trophy for that character, doing their super, you know, like their final smash, their super, as a trophy, when you beat that All-Star run with that character. So, you gotta play that too. Boss battles, which is a mode you get after not after unlocking, but after beating Subspace, because it runs you through all 8 bosses from Subspace, and then Master Hand and Crazy Hand has 2 bonus bosses. I like the mode, it's cool, you know, I like boss fights. Definitely not enjoyed, I definitely did not enjoy playing it on Intense. That's the hardest difficulty, if you didn't know. That was chopped. That was one of the worst things I may have had to do in a Smash Bros. Game. Because the bosses are really fast. Like, they attack really fast. And, oh boy, one hit from a boss, one good hit from a boss, and you're like up 30-40%. And if you're fighting Gallium, which we will meet later on, he's like a big robot dude, but if you're fighting Gallium, and you're at like a high percent like me, and you're trying to conserve your hearts, if you get hit once, it's over. He has such broken, like, knockback and damage. He's just like, if you're at a percent higher than probably, I'd like to say 60, and you get hit by him, like a good hit by him, not like a graze hit, you're probably gonna die. And with the thing with boss battles is if you die once, you have to restart your run. And you have to go through all 10 bosses. And... Sorry, I was trying to burp, but nothing came out. But you also have, like, 3 hearts to recover yourself, and the bosses are randomly generated, except for the fact that Taboo, who is the final boss, we will be meeting later on, is the final boss. He is always the final boss, and he has an insta-kill move, so if you worked really hard, and then you get hit by his insta-kill move at the very end, you have to restart all the way at the beginning. And you want to know who I did this with? You want to know the character who was agile enough, strong enough, quick enough to beat intense mode boss battles was? I'm gonna give you a moment to guess. Alright. So you may have thought it was a top tier like Meta Knight, or like a quick character like Marth or Sonic. No, none of them. It was Donkey Kong. Yeah, it was Donkey Kong. Because at the time, I was good as Donkey Kong, which I'm still good as Donkey Kong, but I'm not in like my DK prime. But he actually had a really good move. It was his down B that you could just spam, because obviously, first of all, he hits the ground, so it's like a shockwave one, so you don't even have to aim really to hit it. It also just did a crap ton of damage. Like, it shredded the health of these bosses, even on the highest difficulty, which is why he was so good. And I wasn't beating it with any other character, because he just makes the bosses quick. And he's also a tank, like, you know, heavy hitter, so he already doesn't have to hit the bosses as much as someone like, I don't know, like I'm playing as right now. Like Squirtle would have to. Squirtle would probably have to hit him a good amount, like him as in the boss. Hit the boss a good amount before he killed him. But, yeah. But, yeah, I'll probably get into that 100% journey later. Anyways, sorry about that. I think we're going to end it here, because we've done 7 levels. We've done 7 levels. Pretty, what is the word? Productive. Pretty productive. Pretty productive episode. Introduced a lot of stuff, so I'm going to save. That was my previous attempt of recording. Had a lot of background noise, though, so I just decided to do it again. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. We will pick up where we left off in the Battlefield Fortress, where we meet a certain top tier from Melee, and a top tier from Brawl, and another cool guy. So, yeah. That's all for today's episode, and I will see you on the next episode of Subspace. Peace.